Anne, you're officially supporting Reform UK. What's your view?
Well, of course, it would be wonderful if all the right could come together, but that is cloud cuckoo land. That is not going to happen. You've got your usual business of personalities, different agendas, different priorities, all the rest of it. I would very much like the right to come together, but, I'm a realist and I work in the real world. And I think of them all, Reform has the best chance. Which is why I have joined Reform. Of course, what should happen, and certainly what won't happen, is that the right of the Conservative Party, which is no longer a right-wing party, it isn't centre-right, it's a left-wing party. We have two parties in this country, one is red, one is pale pink. We do not have a truly Conservative party. Now, if the Conservative wing of the Conservative Party broke off and joined a centre-right party such as Reform, then I think there would be some chance. But of course they won't, because they want to hold on to their seats. So, we just have to be realistic about it.
And do you think the Conservatives face an existential threat in the long term?
Oh, I think the Conservatives are toast as far as the next election goes. And then, of course, the question is how they react to that. And whether they see that as a reason to get together and unite, or whether they all blame each other for what has happened. And if I had to put money on it, I would expect them to start blaming each other, because that is what they have spent the last 3 years doing, and squandering a huge majority, squandering a huge vote of public confidence. That's what they've spent 3 years doing. Don't tell me they're suddenly going to get a rush of common sense.
There's always going to be a gap in the market, an audience. There's always going to be support for a centre-right party. After all, Anne, as you know, the Conservatives are the most successful political party in the history of European democracy. So if they were to dwindle, to fall away, do you think Reform UK could fill the gap?
Well, I'm certain that it could, but again, I'm a realist. I don't expect that to happen, in the next 5 minutes. I don't expect it to happen by Tuesday afternoon. We have quite a long slog ahead. But nevertheless, people are talking to me all the time and are saying, oh, yes, we like what Reform is saying. They may not necessarily have joined the Reform Party, but they like what we're saying. And that is a very major start. Now, I joined the Brexit Party very late in the day. We had that enormous success. We swept the board in the European elections in 2019, became the largest party in the European Parliament from nothing. From nothing, because people liked what we are saying. And that is the challenge for the Reform Party between now and the next election, to get people to move from liking what we're saying to liking it so much that they vote for us.
Anne, let me bring you up to speed on a story we covered yesterday, and we broke the internet with this story. Civil servants are advising prison officers not to call inmates convicts, as it may hurt their feelings or offend them. As a former prisons minister, what's your view on this?
Well, it's a complete nonsense. Convict is a statement of fact. If you have been convicted of a crime, you are a convict. And if you're serving a prison sentence, you are a convict. And so, it's no more than a statement of fact. But what I can't believe is, using time that way when there are so many things that need addressing in the prison service. What are they doing? Wasting their time devising, correct language, when what they should be doing is promoting proper educational and work regimes in prisons, promoting offending behaviour courses, getting the security right, getting extra prison places to meet the overcrowding crisis. Those are the things they should be concentrating on. Why are they worried about whether a convict is called a convict?
Last but not least, Anne, Conservative MP Miriam Cates has said that women who want to stay at home and raise their kids should be incentivised to do so. She's suggesting tax breaks for stay-at-home mums. Would you support such a move?
Well, what we do know is that there is gross inequality, and has been for a long time. You get a situation where you have two earners in a household. They both go out to work. They get subsidised childcare. They get all those allowances. The family where they stay at home, where the mother or the father stays at home, and they live on one income, have to subsidise those people with their taxes, which is gross. And my view has been for a very long time that we need complete equality, that the state doesn't promote either going to work or staying at home, and that it doesn't give breaks for either, that it's complete equality, and what you do is down to you. Now, I have said that for very many years. Cameron and Osborne were determined that no woman should stay at home, that they should all go out to work. Well, and of course they imagined that women going out to work were a bit like Samantha Cameron, and going to these high-powered jobs. For an ordinary woman with children, going out to work probably means slogging away, packing peas in the local factory. It's just not glamorous.